Starting from navigating the data highway, bandwidth challenges, deploying large language models across nodes is like a symphony traveling through the airwaves. Like network limitations can disturb the tempo, affecting performance. We will dissect the impact of network latency and how it shapes the user experience. After that, we have resource on a budget, the dance of constraints. Whether it's ChatGPT or open source models, whether there is a price to pay. We will break down the cost associated with them. So you need to know what you are going into and what you are going to through. Starting from the art of cost and mitigation. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to the journey of large language models. Imagine you are having a conversation with your computer as if it was your buddy. That's the magic of large language models. But of course, like any other adventure, there are twists and turns. Today we are diving into the details of large language models and how to make them not just smart but cost effective too. Ready? So let's move forward. All right, here is the plan. We are diving deep into the heart of large language models by tackling the challenges head on and discovering how to optimize cost without compromising their magic. Here is the scope. Starting from challenges of large language models, we will start by uncovering the hurdles that LLMs face. Think of these as the roadblocks on our journey to seamless human-computer interactions. Then we have cost estimation, the million-dollar question. Literally, we will break down the cost associated with large language model from hardware to deployment. Spoiler alert, it's just not pocket change. After that, we will move towards the examples of cost estimation. Let's get real. We will walk you through real-world examples of how much these linguistic marvels can set you back. After that, we will move towards strategies for optimizing infrastructure. No one likes spending more than they have to, right? We will share some savvy strategies to make LLM deployment easier on the wallet. Next, we have steps for cost estimation handling cost like a pro. That's our goal. We will guide you through the steps, estimate expenses, and plan wisely. Optimizing the reasonability in LLM is also the part of this lecture. We are not just about numbers, we are talking about efficiency. Learn how to keep large language models reasonable and effective. After that, we have model compression. Think of it like a Mario Kondo for models. We will show you how compressing large language models can spark joy and save money. If we are talking about model distillation, if a teacher is teaching a smaller model to think it like a big shot sounds intricate, you are in for a treat. Model distillation is our secret sauce behind all of this matter. After that, we will wrap up with conclusion. We will tie up everything together, like large language models are poised to revolutionize the game, and cost management is the key to unlocking their full potential. All right, as we know that large language models are the future of generative AI models with the latest features in the trends. But that is only possible if the problems of large language models solve like the arrangement of hardware and software resources. That is only possible with cost estimation, and that's what we will be going to discuss in further slides, like step by step effectively. Now let's talk challenges. Imagine you have these super smart language models, but it's like a marathon runner needing a top-notch track to perform. LLMs crave computational power for real-time tasks. Think like chatbots. For instance, you can take an example of a 1.5 billion parameter model on 32 GB that can easily run out of memory during inference. If the input query is long and complicated, even for basic inference on large language models, multiple accelerators for multi-node computing clusters like Kubernetes pods are required. Furthermore, we will discuss the need of for lightning fast models that can understand and respond in the blink of an eye. Starting from storing wisely, like you have to crack the storage puzzle. Picture this like a digital library storing the vast knowledge of an LLM, but space is limited and big models have big storage needs. We will spill the beans on how to handle these storage challenges without breaking a sweat. Next, we have memory magic, like meeting large language models demand. Just like humans need memory to function, LLMs thrive in on it too. But what about devices with limited memory? It's like fitting a symphony orchestra in a small room. We will explore how distributed inference can save the day and manage the associated cost. After that, we have size matters like navigating large language model challenges. Bigger isn't always be better, at least when it comes to large language models. Large language models come with hefty memory requirements, leading to inefficiencies. We will weigh the options, finding practical solutions that won't weigh you down. We have also scaling up the journey to efficiency. Scaling large language models is like coordinating a massive choir. It's both rewarding and challenging. We will dive into the world of model parallelism, understanding how it scales large language models while managing communication overhead. Starting from navigating the data highway, bandwidth challenges, deploying large language models across node is like a symphony traveling through the airwaves. Like network limitations can disturb the tempo, affecting performance. We will dissect the impact of network latency and how it shapes the user experience. After that, we have resource on a budget, the dance of constraints. Think of managing large language models, but again, like organizing your closet. You have got limited space, so you need to be smart about it. We will underscore the performance and importance of managing source constraint for effective model bargaining. After all of this, we will try to crunch the number with cost equation. Here's what it gets real. Deploying large language models isn't just a walk in the park. It's like an investment from powerful hardware to maintaining a small stage from them to shine. We will break down the cost that comes with the magic. Before moving towards the cost evaluation, we have to discuss as what will be the need and what will be the cost estimation. How we will evaluate it against our LLM resources. As we know, hosting large language models on cloud platforms or dedicated servers isn't a free ride. It's like maintaining a grand theater, and that costs money, very high amount of money. For that purpose, we will delve into the infrastructure expenses that makes large language models perform their linguistic symphonies. Starting from storage strategies, like you have to store wisely. Imagine you are building a library for your large language model knowledge, but libraries need space and that comes at a price. We will explore how to manage storage cost in a world where information is the currency. Next, we will move towards deploying dream, like cost of LLM deployment. Turning dreams into a reality takes more than just wishes. It takes resources. Deploying LLMs on a specialized hardware is like setting up a grand show. We will talk about the cost that make the magic happen. This real magic happen. After that, we'll move towards the total cost of ownership. Like when we try to count it all. Ready for some math? Like the total cost of ownership that is dedicated or as TCO is the sum of all expenses, hardware, infrastructure, storage, and deployment. It's like calculating the full cost of hosting an extravagant party. For smaller players, the TCO might be a bit overwhelming, like accessing to LLMs. Hold on to your heads because this is where we talk dollars and cents. Running an LLM isn't free, my friend. Whether it's ChatGPT or open source models, whether there is a price to pay. We will break down the cost associated with them. So you need to know what you are going into and what you are going to through. Starting from the art of cost and mitigation, saving those dollars. Fancy a bit of cost cutting magic? We have got your back. We'll share tips and tricks to make your large language models journey easier on the wallet. Start from optimizing code to exploring more budget-friendly hardware options, we have got you covered. Now moving towards a peak at cost estimation. Let's bring it all together with an example. We will paint a picture of cost estimation so you can wrap your head around just how much these linguistic words wonders can cost you in the world of large language models. Now let's talk about the strategy for optimization of the infrastructure and architecture cost of large language models. Imagine you are setting up a stage for a big performance, but for that purpose, you have to learn initially like how to create an efficient large language models from scratch. As we discussed in the previous lectures, then moves toward the deployment which acts like creating a smooth running show. Don't worry, we will be there. There will be no hacking steps in it. If you want to optimize the cost estimation, you have to walk through these steps. Start from setting up a model with the help of SageMaker that is available under the Amazon platform for OpenAI models. Furthermore, you need to select an inference option so that you can make or create or perform the endpoint configuration by choosing the right type and number of instances with the help of recommender. You can also get the serverless inference with just a little bit of modification in the memory management, like from the model starts with the help of batch size to the hyperparameters officially. After all of these steps, you are able to create a strategy that will help you to estimate your large language model cost and resource requirements from creation to deployment with the help of Amazon SageMaker. As we know that the data is the heart and soul of large language models, and training of that data is the part of large language models which involves analyzing factors like computing resources, training time, and electricity expenses. By optimizing batch size, model architecture, and training techniques, we can strike a balance between efficient learning and manageable costs. And by ensuring effective utilization of resources, like picture you have to picture it like you are trying to taking care of a garden to grow the most beautiful flowers. We'll explore how data handling, cleaning, labeling, and organization play a pivotal role in the large language models journey. Imagine training a marathon runner. It takes resources. Training like large language models is no different. Managing computing cost is in large language models. Training requires assessing GPU or CPU usage, balancing performance with the expenses by selecting appropriate instances types, optimizing batch size, and leveraging cloud services effectively. We can control expenses while achieving efficient model training. Here we will reveal the cost behind those powerful GPUs that make the training possible, like NVIDIA A100 GPUs might be like go into neural networks, but they come at a high price. Creating, creating large language models is like a building block, like a puzzle with complexity. But if anyone want to know about infrastructure, if the building infrastructure of the building, like he or she has to deal that into the history and architecture details of that building. Meanwhile, this also will be applicable in large language models. We will delve into the architecture and infrastructure by exploring the layers that make these models tick, like start from encoders to attention mechanism. We will break down the technology and techniques behind this whole magic, like the effective cost estimation from the for architecture and infrastructure in large language models involve choosing a suitable model size and evaluating hardware requirements. By considering all of these factors, like such as parameter counts, memory needs, and scaling options, we can manage infrastructure cost while maintaining model performance and achieving our training goals. Now it's time to optimize the reasons behind this whole process. Strategically estimating cost in large language models involve finding a balance between model performance and resource expenditures. By fine-tuning hyperparameters, employing early stopping techniques, and monitoring training progress, we try to ensure reasonable resource utilization. Like we try to achieve cost-effective outcomes without compromising model quality. Also, we will discuss techniques to optimize large language models for efficient inference, ensuring that these models predict and respond lightning quick. Think of model compression like fitting your favorite sweater into a smaller bag. Compressed models are lean, mean, and cost effective. We'll explore how squeezing large language models into a smaller package save resources and make them more accessible. Like if we talk about the model compression techniques for large language models, it will help us to streamline cost estimation by reducing model size without sacrificing performance. By employing methods like cloning, quantization, and knowledge distillation, we will try to minimize computational demands during training and deployment, leading to more efficient resources utilization and lower overall costs. Have you ever thought like you have to taught someone to think like you? Like model distillation is that magical teaching movement for large language models. We will show you here like how smaller models learn from larger ones by using the techniques like knowledge distillation and self-distillation. Model distillation in large language models aids cost estimation by transferring knowledge from larger models to smaller ones. By training a compact model to mimic the behavior of a larger model, we try to reduce computational requirements for both training and inference. That is leading to optimized resource and usage and computational resource cost. And there you have it, folks. The adventure of large language models and their cost, starting from challenges to strategies and everything in between. While the exact future of large language model is uncertain, one thing is clear, they are poised to change the game with smart strategies and a watchful eye on cost. These linguistic marvels will undoubtedly revolutionize on how we will communicate, learn, and explore in future. So get ready to embrace the future, one word at a time. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.